All right, UFC 223 just wrapped up literally 10 minutes ago.
If that, yeah.
So we are bringing you the wrap-up absolutely the fastest possible because we promised you guys we're going to do that. So we are in the room. As soon as we get this recorded, exported, and uploaded, we will have it out there. So as fast as we can go, I guess, huh?
And plus, what is this, 4 podcasts in 6 days?
It's a lot, man. We've been doing a lot of podcasts. We did one 2 days ago, the Conor McGregor.
Yeah. And that got a lot of, we're at 8,000 views as of right now.
In one day.
Yeah.
Got a lot of hype. You know, I kind of like slam Conor McGregor and like, don't take it out of context. Like, here's the thing. I don't wish the worst for Conor McGregor that he goes into jail and gets banned from the States and never comes back. I want him to get punished to the fullest extent. I think he needs a big lesson. But I hope that he learns and comes back and can be inspiring and motivational for people. You know, it's not like I wish the best for him forever, you know, or I'm sorry, the worst for him forever. But what he did was shitty. And, you know, 90% of people agree with me. There's obviously the Conor McGregor fans that don't. And you know, you can look at the YouTube channel and see the comments that they said. But they're ridiculous comments. I mean,
there's a lot of them about they don't think that that's a terroristic act. You know,
I said it was I said it was terrorism. I said it was a terror act, and maybe I said terrorism. I don't know. He's not a terrorist. I don't mean Conor McGregor's a terrorist, but at the same time, he technically could be. I mean, the point is this: if you create terror, you're a terrorist. I mean, Timothy McVeigh isn't part of ISIS, and he's an American. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, he's not a extremist. He's not, you know, associated with it. Doesn't matter. He created terror. He went to a van full of innocent people, and he tormented everybody inside by throwing things through the window. People were bleeding. They had no idea what was going on. It was an incident of terror for most of the people on there, including Rose, who had to go back to her room, and Dana had to go check. So, you know, it caused terror. That's all I was saying. So people who are saying like he's not a terrorist and that was silly and that was dumb, that's your opinion, whatever. If you want to take it so literally, whatever. The bottom line is it was immature. It was the fact, if you watch a UFC Embedded and that shows the high definition footage of what happened.
Best video.
It's absolutely embarrassing. I would be embarrassed if I was him, if I saw that footage. To be a millionaire, you know, a person that people look up to in the sport, a person who's a champion in the sport, who was a champion until tonight, throwing a huge metal dolly through the window, not even knowing who he's hitting, and then they run off together laughing and yelling and like with their hands raised as if they just accomplished something big.
Like hyenas. Like literally they're 7-year-old girls that just wrapped a house.
Yeah, it's like the most cowardice thing I've ever seen in my life. Like literally the most cowardice thing. He's like, why didn't Khabib come out of the bus? He's fighting for a championship in 2 days. Are you stupid? Why? First of all, I think he would have. I mean, I'm not. I can't speak for him. First of all, I think he would have.
You could right there.
Number 2, he has a championship fight in 2 days. I don't think he wants to fight 30 people armed with trash cans, dollies,
bike racks.
I don't think that's what he has planned. You know, when he has a fight in 2 days.
And plus, like I brought up too, it's not like there's one single way to get out of that bus, and the bus driver controls it. That bus driver's probably
people were then saying, "Oh, he could have went out the back or something."
How?
It's
was
stupid.
He jump through the window?
These comments are so irrelevant and they're so stupid. It doesn't matter what he did with Lobov. I never defended. And then the only other comment people came at me about was Khabib started it, and he went up to Lobov and assaulted him with a big group. Okay, first of all, he touched Lobov by himself. Nobody else was hurt. Nobody else was touched.
Nobody threw at anything.
There was no yelling and screaming to innocent people. There was no one that ended up in the hospital. There were no fights that were canceled. It wasn't even close to the same thing. And I'm not even defending it even at that. If Lobov wants to press charges against Khabib and gets away with it, so be it. I never said that he shouldn't. I never said that he couldn't. I never said that Khabib was right or wrong. I never said any of that. So I never compared the two. I just said that what Khabib did, what Conor did was wrong. And if I'm wrong, then the police are wrong, then Dana's wrong, the UFC is wrong, everybody on the bus is wrong, everybody's wrong. So, you know, like I said, I mean, you're going to get hate. You're going to get people that's going to come against you. I have nothing against Ireland. I have nothing against Irish fans. I have nothing against Khabib's fans. And I've always been a Khabib. God, why do I keep saying Khabib? Conor.
Yeah.
I keep saying Khabib. I have nothing against his fans. I have nothing against his following. I have nothing against him up until this point. You know, I was a huge Conor McGregor fan. I loved the way he talked. I loved his showmanship. I loved the way he fought. I loved the way he backed it up. He was always a little crazy. Now we got to see how crazy he is. The guy needs help. He needs some serious help. And Dana said that he was the most embarrassed and ashamed because Dana said he was on drugs. That would be my way out. Like, I would be happy Dana said I was on drugs, because I would then come and say, I would say, you're right, I was on drugs. Big mistake. I'll never do it again. The fact that
they gave him a drug test, didn't they?
He didn't have drugs in the system, which is more scary. So the fact that he wasn't on drugs and that he was ashamed of being on drugs, that means that was him. That was really him. If you look at that video on the Embedded show, that's really him. That's no drugs. That's no,
maybe a little liquor.
That's no chemical imbalance. That's 100% Conor McGregor, and that's scary. That's something you can't fix. Like, how do you fix that? You know what I mean? Like
jail.
I mean, a punishment, a big time
jail and losing $60 million. That'll fucking.
I mean, who knows how many people is going to sue him or what the case is going to be? And then some people are saying they're setting up this big Khabib fight with him and Conor, and this is going to set it up and be the biggest fight in history
again.
First of all, like I said, he's a guest in the country. He shouldn't be able to board a plane, fly into America, premeditated to do an attack on a group of people that didn't do anything. That's exactly what we don't want to happen in America. Why would we condone that? Why would we not throw the book at this guy? You know what I mean? Like, just because he's Conor McGregor, just because he makes money, that has nothing to do with what he did at the bus, you know? Yeah. Has nothing to do with that. And, you know, and the fact is, you know, and again, tonight we're going to the results of the fight in a second. Obviously, you know, already Khabib won the fight. You know, Conor, if he has any brains at all, is not going to fight Khabib. It's not going to happen. So you can forget it. It's not going to happen. He will for the money. He ain't going to. I doubt it. If he's crazy,
he's crazy
enough to do this against the bus, maybe he will. Maybe he will. But if you think Khabib's going to fight Conor the way he fought Iaquinta, you're kidding. If you think Khabib's going to fight Tony Ferguson the way he fought Iaquinta, it's not going to happen.
That'll be a good fight.
We'll get to it. But anyway, I just wanted to clear that up, guys. I have nothing against you know, the fans and the people that support Conor. He's done a lot for the sport. I'm not comparing myself. Some people were like, Conor can beat you up and he's done more for the sport. It has no relevance in my opinion. I've been a part of the sport way longer than Conor has. I was headlining and co-headlining UFCs well before Conor was ever even a thing. So it's like, I have a voice in the sport, and if I want to share it, I'm going to share it. And if you don't want to hear it, don't watch the podcast. That's just the way it is. I'm going to say how I feel, whether it's Conor McGregor or it's somebody you've never heard of. Doesn't matter. It's the way it is. And what he did was wrong. So enough about that. Let's wrap that up. I've called Conor Khabib enough times already.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and wrap that up.
You know, Khabib fought tonight, not Conor, right?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I do know that because Conor fought a bus apparently, according to Khabib the other day.
You're ruining it. Dude.
I know.
You can't jump that far.
So anyway, we'll go to the fights. Go ahead.
We'll knock down the main event pretty quickly.
Load up the fights. Let's go. Let's do it.
And then first one, Joe Lauzon.
Yep.
Versus Chris Gruetzemacher. I'm saying that correctly.
I think so.
Man, like I said, you know, when I started watching you, is roughly around when Joe Lauzon started coming in. Man, it's tough to see him fight now.
Yeah.
I mean, poor guy. It's just. What did he get? 57. He got hit 57 with 57 significant strikes in the first round. Who can take that?
And he's one of the nicest guys in the sport too. I know him, and he's very nice. Very good fighter. Absolutely great fighter. I think he's reached his max at an early age. He's only 34 years old, I think.
But he's had 43 fights.
Yeah. So when you consider your age is judged by fights and wear and tear, not necessarily how old you are. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm 38, almost 39. I think he's past his prime already at 34 just because of that fight alone. He came out strong, was aggressive, and he actually did okay in the beginning of the first round. Gruetzemacher came back and just picked him apart, man. Just absolutely picked him apart. And I told you he wasn't going to come out for the second round. Yeah. Be at the corner, be at the ref, whatever. That
was a good stoppage by his team.
He was just getting manhandled big time. And, you know, I like him so much. I'd like to see him go on to something else and not
I think
fight.
He should retire.
Yeah.
God bless. Like I said, great guy. We had, some friends at the gym. Remember, we talked to Joe on the phone a little bit, whatever.
Yep.
But it's tough to see, like, when you've seen him your whole career. It's like if you'd watch, Michael Jordan playing right now.
Yeah.
Scoring 2 points a game. It's just not the same anymore.
I just hate to see someone that's so respected and such a nice guy in their career with fights like that where it's like that's what you remember, I mean, this is a guy who's had a record number of, bonuses.
I think he holds the record for
this guy's fought his heart out so many times, and that's what you want to remember him by. You don't want to remember him by Gruetzemacher, picking him apart. I didn't even really know much about Gruetzemacher until this fight, and he came on the scene, and Joe's a legend in the sport, and like to see him do that was kind of sad, and heart goes out to Joe Lauzon, and I hope he heals up well. It looks like he was beat up pretty bad, and I really hope he moves on and then just carries on with what legacy he had, man. He's done enough already, man.
He never went down, though. I mean, you got to give him that.
Dude, there's nothing you can take away from the guy. His ground, his striking, his toughness. I mean, that's why he's fight of the night champion. I mean, the guy's a freak.
Fuck, man.
So, I mean, that's how that fight went. But, I mean, that's pretty much that covers everything.
Yeah, it was
got
just
picked apart
pretty
until it was
one-sided.
over. Yeah. He started out strong, faded really fast, and then got picked apart by Gruetzemacher.
So, all right. So the next one, Magomedsharipov.
I don't want to say that name.
Magomedsharipov.
But when he's from Dagestan, I knew he was bringing the heat, and I seen him fight before. His dude's
he looks
bad.
so unassuming.
He's a bad dude.
I think he's the only guy in the history of people that I've ever met with 6 syllables in his name.
Yeah. And his opponent was hearing cymbals after a few of those strikes.
It was pretty one-sided. Toward the end, the last minute and a half was kind of. But okay, tell me I know you that during your fight with David Loazo, when you did this, spin and hit that. Or, you went uppercut, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Now that's. I think a lot of people do that. That's a little bit. I think it's so dumb when the fighter will just stand there, put his hands down, and smile, and just wait to get tagged.
It is, but I mean, for the fans, Bochniak. I hope I'm saying his name, Bochniak. Yeah. He was looking to try to just be tough and show he was taking everything that he had. He knew he had a tough opponent, and I'll tell you what. I mean, yeah, he could have got knocked out cold. I mean, it doesn't. Anderson Silva's proven already that it doesn't matter how tough you are, how many fights you win. If you take one on the right spot, you're going down. I think it is a little silly to do that unless you're just completely dominating the fight. The guy's cowarding, he's weak, he's tired, and he's not going to be able to knock you out. Aside from that, I think it is a silly move to do, and I would always correct my fighters at AKA Thailand if they start doing that crap. But I will say that fight ended at the very last.
It was fight of the night. That'll be Magomedsharipov. Magomedsharipov.
I will say the last.
They'll get the fight of the night.
The last minute, 45 seconds to a minute of that fight was just an absolute slugfest. He started out doing the thing like that, and then they just went at it. I thought somebody was going down for sure. So Bochniak can take a shot for sure. Yeah. He definitely can take because he took a few right there at the end.
Well, the dude's 6'2", 145.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little taller than that, and 40 pounds heavier, and I look like a fucking X-ray.
Yeah.
Clothes hanger?
Well, I mean, when you wear shirts to the gym, that's what they look like on the hanger. Then we take them off.
I hope they see that on there.
The mannequin, so people can see what they look like with an actual body.
Wow. This is pretty well thought out for you, huh? You've been waiting to tear me up on
I'm just saying, dude. You're the hanger demonstrator. That's what I call it.
So that's why, I mean, I know how if y'all follow the show, how I feel about pretty much all fighters that weigh less than 170. It's going to be a bunch of decisions, which tonight there was one fight that was a 205. All the other ones were featherweight, strawweight, lightweight.
I mean, that power kicks in at 170, I mean, you get some power when you got, your Codys and stuff and TJs, you got some power down there. But when you get to 170s, when that power really kicks in, and people can end the fight with one punch.
How hard is it really when you're 6'2", 145? I mean,
he's a big dude. He moves well, and he's from Dagestan, so this guy's been fighting. He's done well already.
Yeah,
but this guy's been fighting since he's a kid. I mean, he's just like Khabib, I mean, these guys in Dagestan, we get them in here all the time at AKA Thailand.
That's all we get.
They've been fighting since they were kids, man. I mean, we've had guys come in as they were kids. Like literally, they're 10, 12 years old, fighting in the stadiums and pro Muay Thai fights against the Muay Thai guys, taking it to them. And they're beating some of the Thai guys because they're just constantly just punching them in the face, and they're relentless. They won't stop. They're not playing that whole moving around game, gambling, fighting like the Muay Thai fighters do. They just go after you, and a lot of these Muay Thai fighters can't handle it. So he's probably been fighting for years, man, since he was growing up.
I don't know how old he was.
There was no doubt this guy, in my opinion, was going to win the fight, and he did. He picked him apart on the feet, on the ground.
They're all good.
Pretty much everywhere. Yep.
The best wrestlers we got.
Yep. So that was pretty much how that fight went. I mean, it was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. It was entertaining. But again, when you put your when you put your hands down and just take, I mean, according to my sources, 40 out of 40 fights that's happened, they always lose.
It's not a good.
You don't do that when you're completely dominating a fight.
Yeah, no.
But I don't know. Whatever. So, but congratulations, Magomedsharipov.
We'll know his name in another couple fights.
Shawshank
for sure.
Redemption. Yeah, it'll get out soon. But all right, so then what is it? The Brazilian Moicano? Man, that's a tough card for fucking.
Moicano.
If you played Scrabble with these people's last names,
Yeah,
man,
Moicano. Yeah.
Moicano?
Cater.
Moicano
and Cater.
versus Cater, yeah.
Yep. And that was another one where Moicano just absolutely brutalized him with leg kicks.
It was a good one. I mean, Vegas had him as a pick'em fight,
Yep.
you know, so it was evenly matched. And like you said, to take 40 leg kicks, I mean, even
was that how many it was?
40, yeah.
I mean, they were hard. Every single leg kick lifted his leg in the air every single time.
Careful.
I'll kick you in the head.
You have before.
But, you know, I will say Cater came in there tough. I mean, he was game. He was pushing the pace. He was trying to win, man. He was up against a guy. I mean, we knew Moicano was you know, he's experienced. He's fought some tough guys.
I think, I mean, he's fought Jeremy Stevens. And
he's beat some really tough guys, man. And, like, we knew he was going to be a force.
Brian Ortega? He fought Ortega.
Yeah.
You know?
We knew he was going to be a force to be reckoned with. So I picked him from the beginning. We both picked him when he walked in. And
I only lost one fight on this.
He got it done, man. Leg kicks. Leg kick after leg kick after leg kick after leg kick. And, he won.
Yeah. Again,
pretty much how that went.
We're kind of just gonna haul ass through these to get to the obvious.
I mean, there wasn't a whole other than what we're saying. That's pretty much how it went. It wasn't.
Well, like I said, when you get these 145ers, man, it's pretty much decisions all the time, you know. So,
but I mean, there wasn't any spectacular moves, you know. There was a couple kicks. I think
he landed a switch kick, jumping switch kick or whatever.
Yeah, a couple things.
Or was that the fight before Magomedsharipov
fought him? Magomedsharipov off. I think he was doing some spinning back kicks and a couple jump kicks and stuff. But let's get on to Rose and Joanna. Or Joanna. Not Joanna, Joanna.
Needs to go to
and I'm just going to say, I really just like Rose a lot. And I always go for her.
Or do like?
I do like. I do like. And I don't like the way Joanna always is so, like, thuggy. It's funny that Rose is Thug Rose.
Yeah.
But Joanna's always in her face talking trash at the weigh-ins. I mean, like, dude, you just got knocked out by Rose. And, like, she showed her no respect at the weigh-ins. And it's just like, be humble. Be humble. I mean, Kendrick Lamar said it best. Be humble.
Who?
Kendrick Lamar.
The one that dated the Kardashian that started doing drugs?
The one that sang the song, Be Humble.
Oh, that's Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom, the basketball player?
The singer, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh. Well, I don't listen to you kids' music these days.
So... she should have been more humble, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter. She's still a good fighter. She did okay, but Rose just beat her. I mean, she just outfought her. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
She had a pretty tore up face.
She's very calm. Yeah, if you look at the damage, I mean, like, she was picking Joanna apart. Her face was just completely just black and blue all over from top to bottom.
You know, again, this is one of the we've talked about it on this podcast, on this platform before. The weigh-ins, you know, the whole in the face and putting the fist and the shoving or whatever they were doing. You know, do you want to touch gloves before the fight? They don't want to, whatever. As soon as the first round's over, they hug.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, man. Either you hate somebody or you don't. I hate that. I just wish that they would just do away with that. I don't know why. How do you know that bothers me?
I know. You hate that. You do hate it.
I don't know why. I mean, it's not whatever. But, I mean, congrats to Rose. She's
I'm happy, man. I'm so happy.
This is the fight that I lost, that I picked.
Oh, you thought Joanna was going to win?
Yeah, you had Rose.
How dare you?
Did you win every one?
I think so.
I think you. Yeah, I only lost one. You won every one. Pretty predictable, I think. So.
Yep. And then moving on.
Let's do it while we're here. You know.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing. I mean, Rose just picked her apart. So I mean, there's not a lot to say about that. She picked her apart. The thing about Rose, I will say this, is they didn't go to the ground. I mean, I'll say this, Rose.
A lot of women fights don't.
Yeah, but Rose is so good on the ground, and I think she's really working on her stand-up. And she saw an opening with Joanna the first time. She took it and won, and I think she wanted to capitalize on that and grow and become an even better striker and have more experience in the striking field. And she did. I mean, she didn't waver from her game plan as far as striking, and she went blow to blow. And when she got caught, she was right back in her face. But she didn't get caught a lot, man. I mean, I don't know what the statistics are, but she outstruck Joanna. I mean, she had to have, unless Rose just doesn't bruise, because she didn't have a mark on her face. She never does. I mean, she beat Joanna twice, and both times you see the picture of her with a belt or the video, whatever, there's not a mark on her face. It's like, did she really have a fight? So maybe Joanna, and maybe she is humble. You know, maybe she's a great person. I don't really know her, but
when she gave
maybe she'll humble down a
a
little bit now.
The guy you like, Pat Barry.
Yeah.
Saying that. You had some nice things to say about him.
I like Pat Barry. I really do. I miss him, man. He was great to watch.
I met him once in Houston. That guy's nonstop just saying weird shit, crazy, like
He's a crazy
jumping
dude.
around. And
He's a crazy dude, man.
he's a he was
Nothing's
pretty
off
cool.
limits with Pat Barry.
It doesn't look like it.
He's awesome. They're a great team.
Yeah.
Him and Rose for sure. So we'll move on to Khabib.
Was that there was another fight tonight.
Yeah, there was. It was called a main event.
When was the last time there was a UFC where an AKA fighter wasn't the main event?
I don't know, man. It's been a while. Seems like.
When was the
At
last
least
Olympics?
the way we say it. Khabib versus Iaquinta. Iaquinta. So hats off to Al for stepping up, first of all. First and foremost, hats off for him for stepping up. And it sucks that he was 0.2 pounds off, which
That's
caused him
so
not to have a
shitty.
chance to win a belt.
Well, he
because-
didn't win it anyway. But
He didn't win anyway, but either way, like that does suck to have to fight Khabib and not be able to win a belt if you did win. But hats off to him for stepping up, and hats off to him for having a great fight. It was a good fight. Okay, so here's my take. If you listen to the commentary, you're going to hear Joe. Now, this is the difference between me knowing Khabib, training with Khabib, being a part of the fight camp, and knowing exactly how when I was there for this fight camp, part of it, and talking to Habib every day about what they were working on. Obviously, the opponents changed. It doesn't matter with Khabib, what I'm about to say anyway. But one of the things is, you know, Joe and a lot of other people were saying how, oh my God, you know, like Ferguson and Connor's going to have a way better blueprint on how to beat Khabib now watching this fight. No, they're not. No, they're not. Let me tell you why. Because Khabib wants to work on a stand-up. He wants to knock someone out. He would love to finish a fight on the feet without ever going to the ground. That's his mentality. He's a fighter. He wants to constantly do things that people aren't going to expect, and he wants to knock people out. And that's been the biggest thing we've had to battle in the gym, because he wants to go out there and spar and just light people up on the feet and then work on his striking constantly. So it's evident during the fight. When you watch the fight, he took Iaquinta down in the first round and mauled him. The first beginning of this fight, Joe and the commentators couldn't say enough about how Khabib was unbeatable, unstoppable. There's nothing you can do. This guy's that much better. But then when he realized, okay, I can win this fight very easy on the ground, he decided to stand up and get some experience and work on his stand-up. And then they kind of turned on him and said, oh, now we know how to beat him. It wasn't Iaquinta. I mean, he blocked a couple takedowns, but it wasn't Iaquinta that stopped him from taking him down, because we saw him with Edson Barboza. He would have kept going.
Iaquinta got outstruck 115-23. Now, that's not domination.
Yeah, but because he wasn't hitting hard strikes and knocking him down,
he still bloodied
it was like, oh,
up.
this is the blueprint of somebody who knows how to strike. Somebody who knows how to strike, who fights Khabib, he's not going to go out there and stand with him like that. He's going to fight him like he fought Barboza. I mean, sometimes you got to think about things a little bit. When he fought Barboza, who's a great striker, he didn't fight him like he fought Iaquinta. He didn't stand out there and strike with him. You know what I mean? This is a guy who dominated Iaquinta so bad in the beginning of this fight. He knew he was going to win this fight at any time. He can take him down and win this fight.
Even
and
Hav was getting a little.
Of course, that's what I was telling you. Hav gets mad at him because he tries to stand up too much when he knows he could win the fight so easily on the ground. But the thing is like, you know, he took him down so easily, and yeah, he did miss a few takedowns. But if you think that's all he had, I mean, we've seen Khabib. He would have just continuously went for takedowns if he really was in danger on the feet. But he wasn't. He was jabbing him at bay, 118, 120, whatever it was, to double digits. I mean, like
8 takedowns to 0.
He was beating him on the feet. So it's like there was no point for him to fight the old way. He wanted experience. He wanted to mix it up on the feet. So, you know, he won. I'm not taking nothing away from Iaquinta at all. Nothing away. I mean, he had a completely different fight he had to train for.
It was stacked against him too.
Absolutely. I mean, he went from a 3-round fight to a 5-round fight. He went from a fight that was completely different stylistically in a matter of 24 hours. And he went to a fight who was the best fighter in the world, who's 26-0 right now, who's never been beat.
To his first main event.
And his first main event.
Be, like you said, against Khabib. And there's kind of a title on the line, which is weird.
Yeah, kind of. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, as far as like Connor and Tony looking at the TV and being like, oh, I'm going to beat him because of this.
No chance.
He ain't fighting those guys the same way. Trust me when I tell you, he will not fight those guys the same way. He will maul them on the ground.
It's going to be a reign like Anderson Silva had, where Anderson Silva got so bored, which I think is what Khabib's doing now, he's using championship fights for training and for practice.
The thing is, I'll give an insight on this. Khabib has always kind of wanted to stand up more. because he's always dominant. He's 26-0. So his first 10, 15, 20 fights, he's always dominated people on the ground. So ever since he's been in the UFC, he's wanted to stand up.
10-0 in the UFC.
And he's stood up way more than what our coaching has wanted him to on multiple fights, on multiple occasions, where he didn't have to. He wanted to, and our coaches were freaking out about it. And this was another one where they were. You saw Javier during in between the rounds. He's like, take it to the ground, beat this guy where you beat him. And then at the end, what did Khabib do? He jumped forward, ran forward, took him to the ground, did what he had to do. He knew he could do that at any time. Yeah. So I mean, you're talking about a guy that can dictate a fight at any point to anywhere he wants to go. So
fun fact about him is he can take a half-hour break, then he'll fight Ferguson. Yeah. What did he say? I'll fight Ferguson. I'll fight Conor. Yeah. He'll even fight DC, his own teammate.
Yeah, he's the only one that's ever called out his own teammate, who happens to be a champion at a different weight class, who's actually in his corner.
Yeah, it was like, Iaquinta is the real gangster. Conor wants to fight buses. I want to fight gangsters. I like his attitude.
Conor ain't gonna fight Khabib. Because let me tell you why Conor ain't gonna fight Khabib. He might fight him because he's crazy. Because we did see how crazy that dude is. But I will say this: Conor's tapped. Okay, and I'm not saying everyone that's tapped from a choke is a pansy or something like that. But a real soldier, a real lion, as you say, in the ring, who's out there to fight to the death, isn't gonna tap from a choke. He's going to go out on a shield. He's going to pass out if that's what it takes, right?
You know who didn't tap, right?
You didn't tap.
Okay.
But get me off track here. Conor did. He quit. He quit. When you tap out, you quit. He tapped out from something that wasn't going to kill him, that wasn't going to break a bone, that wasn't going to cause any severe damage. He tapped out from being choked out. Now, when he fights someone like Khabib, he's not going to get a chance to tap. That's the thing.
Tap from strikes.
He's going to have to tap from strikes, which is going to make him look like a coward. Or he's going to have to get absolutely mauled. There's not going to be a chance for him to leave an arm out and get arm barred or get choked out. He might get choked maybe, but knowing Khabib and how much he hates him, he ain't going to even give him that. He won't even give him the chance to tap.
He wants to toy around.
He's going to destroy him. So Conor will absolutely lose every bit of respect probably as a fighter he'll have if he fights Khabib. So I don't think that fight's going to happen. And you take that fight away, I mean, all that's left is Nate. And that's just saying if Conor's even allowed back in the UFC after what he did. I think it would look really bad for the UFC to allow someone like that to be back in the UFC and condone what he did, considering that was one of the worst things, as Dana said, that's ever happened.
In any sport.
It's a full-grown man who has a child, who ran around like a goon, running around and jumping up and down, yelling like he just accomplished the world. Like, it's unbelievable. The guy attacked a bus with 30 people throwing things.
I think
that's the cowardice thing I've ever seen in my life.
Conor had no intentions of actually hurting Chiesa and all the other people.
True, I agree with that.
What do you think's going to happen? Yeah, I mean, if you throw a bottle into a crowd, it's going to cause damage to somebody.
Yeah, and then the fact, if you look at UFC Embedded, he was ordering other people.
Yeah,
to smash the windows. So they were holding back.
I will say Ray Borg didn't really look that hurt. I'm not going to lie. Hopefully Ray Borg is just like, I'm going to go ahead and sue Conor because he's wearing glasses, which means should have shielded it anyway. But I don't know. Just thought it was nice.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of people that's going to probably sue Conor out of the fact. I don't know. Conor got lucky because he chose to beat up a bus that was full of fighters. The least likely group of people that's going to sue you. Because theoretically, like
they had cornermen in there too, though, and those guys will sue.
Maybe, but theoretically, if you get in an altercation with a fighter, like for instance Khabib and Lobov, if Lobov sued Khabib or vice versa, you'd be looked upon as kind of a coward or a baby, just like when Cyborg punched that girl and she said she was going to sue her. The whole sport went against her. So, he picked his battle very, very maybe cleverly or whatever. But it's like, if he was a real man and like he really wanted to face Khabib and not involve innocent people, why didn't he go to his hotel room? Why didn't he find his hotel room with all of his, inside knowledge, knock on his door, and then have crew versus crew, which would have been stupid anyway. I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying that should have happened because this is 2 days forced fight, and that would have been
championship fight.
That would have been hugely wrong.
Would you have watched it?
Watch what?
Would you watch that fight?
Russia
versus Ireland?
There may have been a camera in there too. Yeah. But the point is, he could have done that route. You know what I mean? Or he could have waited till the fight was over, right? Let him have his fight, and he could have fought him afterwards. Or he could have done the right thing that any normal person with common sense would have done and let these two fight and then sit. And he would have been there front row. Dana would have let him sit front row, and he could have stood up and said, I'll fight the winner. He didn't want to fight Khabib. He wants to go with 30 people when he knew there was an arena full of security, arena full of cameras, buses, and they were already in the bus.
UFC officials.
Coincidentally, they were already locked up in the bus. They didn't get there a second earlier than that, which is a weird coincidence. And then make a big scene like, oh, I'm here, I'm a thug, I'm going to defend my boy. And let me tell you what he ended up doing, okay? So Lobov doesn't have a whole lot of money from what I've heard. I don't know for sure. But, you know, he's just a normal fighter trying to fight in the UFC, sticking to Conor McGregor to try to, like, build up his name, build up his hype. And he got in the UFC and fought in there because of Conor. Let me tell you what Conor did. Conor just ruined that kid's career. Yeah. So to sit there and say that he's loyal and he came back to help Lobov and defend him, he ruined that kid's career. Lobov's out of the UFC. He might be facing criminal charges. He might be facing civil charges. His career is over. And I guarantee you Conor's not going to be helping him out. He ain't going to be helping all these 30 people out when they get in trouble, paying for all their lawyers, paying for all their
he's
whatever.
Gonna have his own
he's going to have his own. So it's like he ain't help nobody out except himself. Conor's in it for himself, just like all of his other things that he promotes and stuff. He's in it for himself, to make money for himself, to do things for himself. And
I don't think he had intentions. Like, I don't think that when he was in Dublin the night before was like, let's go fuck with this guy when he gets on the bus and throw shit at it. I don't think that was his intention.
No.
But what would have happened had he met him?
It was orchestrated, bro.
Well, of course. But in a different setting where at least you have the protection of the outside of the bus. Like, what would he have done if he saw that group walking to the bus? You know what I mean?
He would have went up there and they might have jumped Khabib. And that would have been, I mean, Khabib had one guy with him. So Khabib would have fought him. I mean,
manager, right?
He would have, he would have defended himself, but he would have knocked out the main event of the card. That would have been even, I mean, worse than the fact that knocked out the main event, and best that it wouldn't have hurt other people. But either way, those guys were like hooligans running around the bus throwing stuff. Man? They weren't thinking. And like I said before, where was the guy? And that's why I attacked his management for not controlling him and stuff, and any of his friends. Why didn't anybody say this is a bad idea? Wait till the fight's over. Or why don't you wait until somebody wins? The fight's happening. If you stop the fight from happening by beating up Khabib or attacking him or whatever, you're going to be in worse trouble. So, like, why not let the fight happen and challenge him? Because he's scared, dude.
Well,
he's 500 days he hasn't fought. He's scared to fight these guys. These guys are a level above Conor, 100%.
Go to the press conference and talk shit to him there. That's safe. Yeah. Well, he throws water bottles there too, so fuck, who knows?
And we might get more heat from Conor fans, whatever. But it's like what we're saying is true. It's 100% true. I'm not.
He's not the greatest fighter of all time.
No, he's not.
The people look at him like he's John Jones. I hate to say it.
I mean, he beat Jose Aldo, right? But then how many times has Holloway beat Jose Aldo?
Yeah, twice.
Twice.
With KOs.
He's beat him twice, and look at the winning streak Holloway's on compared to. I mean, I know Conor's on a win streak as well, but no, he's not actually. He lost to Nate. So he got choked out by Nate. I mean, I know those are 170, but again, he tapped out from that fight. I mean, look at Holloway.
Oh, no, it's vice versa. He won versus Nate the second time.
No, but he got beat by him.
Yeah.
So he's not on a win streak. He's not on the same win streak that Holloway's on.
Yeah, one fight.
He's not on the same win streak Holloway's on. He's not on the same level Ferguson's on. He's damn sure not on the same level as Khabib.
Nobody is, dude.
He has no one else to beat except Nate. And he ain't going to beat Nate, I don't think, either.
Dude, big congratulations to Khabib and AKA, man. God.
Yeah. So...
That's a lot of belts in that area, man.
We get carried away on this Conor thing, dude.
Yeah, we do. I was trying to change it up. We already talked about it, so.
We did.
Send us your hate mail.
No, I don't think there's that much hate mail. Anybody with any sense understands, and they realize.
We got 170 comments on the last one.
In one day. Yeah. And that's not even counting the forums.
Like you said, 97% of them are reasonable adults, probably typing. The other ones are fucking morons.
Yeah, but they're coming from like Mystic Mac screen name.
Yeah,
when all these weird.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
My thing is like this. Okay, it's bad enough to be a yes man and be following a guy and like doing everything he says, like these 30 guys that followed him and having his back. It must be like way worse to be a screen name, and all you are is just an influence of Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
You don't even know Conor McGregor.
Nah, Conor McGregor sure as fuck doesn't know him.
You're an influence of him on a message board talking trash. Like, where are you in life? Maybe you should get off the internet and do something with your life. Like, you have one life, bro. You have one chance at life to do something. Go do it. Yeah. Quit like...
It's easier to sit on the computer and act tough.
So stupid, man. And again, like I said, I've bashed him enough already in two podcasts already. But I will say, like I said,
we'll do another one.
I don't wish the worst for him. I just hope that he learns from this and he comes back better. Because, man, we worked our fucking asses off. All of us. Not just me, but all of us on season 1 and before season 1. And Dana and the Fertitas. Everybody's worked their asses off to build a sport to where it is, to have him doing what he's doing now. And like, he should take advantage of where he is in his position and be an inspiration to people. And if nothing else, for his son.
Yeah.
I mean, his son to see this, how embarrassing, you know? A grown man acting like this.
But, you know, he's going to get raised in that environment where behavior like that's not that bad.
No, he's not, though, because they're rich, man. They're raised in a high-class
But he's
environment
still acting
now.
like that.
Well,
you know?
Maybe so.
Look how I was raised. You've met my dad. We're pretty similar. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, he'll get help. They'll probably fight Khabib, or he'll probably fight him in 2019, the end of it. Probably the Super Bowl show, whenever he's out of jail and done all his probation. So.
Yeah, ain't going to be good, though.
No.
So anyway, long story short, guys, the king right now at 155, undisputed, is Khabib Nurmagomedov.
So cool, man. Good for him.
Daniel Cormier is the king at light heavyweight, and he's about to fight at heavyweight Stipe. That's 2 AKA champions right there.
Could be 3 if he gets that heavyweight belt.
And he wins this heavyweight belt, he's going to have 3, yeah.
And Rockhold will be back soon.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm happy. Being an AK fighter, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy as
Hey,
can
just
be.
being able to wear this shirt, man, I'm proud.
It's
That's
a happy
cool.
day for us.
Congrats to Javier, dude. Javier Mendez.
Yeah,
man.
and
What a
for him
beast.
putting it all together. What an amazing
Good for
coach,
him, man.
amazing mentor, amazing person.
Amazing guy.
Yeah.
Just he's always been so nice to me.
Nice tan, too, always. Just 24.
He's a good-looking dude.
24/7, just
Yeah.
a nice, sharp tan. So anyway.
I've never seen him shirtless, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. All right. So leave a comment on the video, guys. Let us know how you feel on not only the comments, but also leave us a review on the iTunes. Give us a 5-star because we appreciate that. And we'll keep bringing you these podcasts. Again, we told you we were going to do it right after the show. The show ended, like I said, 40 minutes ago, and we're done with the podcast right now. So we're going to upload this immediately. This is our take on it. This is our insight to Khabib. You know, obviously we had a little bit of insight for this one. And I bagged a little bit more on Connor. So you got to love that, right? 8,000 views in a day. They're liking that.
Now.
But the point was, he did something stupid, and he did it to people that I care about. And so I'm passionate about that, and that's what it was.
You care about Rose?
I do.
You do like her, man.
I do care about Rose, and I care about that whole entire bus, and I care about Reed Harris, who got hurt, and I care about Ray Borg, and I care about
care about that bus driver. All he was doing was doing his job,
every
man.
innocent person that gets hurt because some idiot thinks he's going to prove a point and be a tough guy. So, sorry, man. Blame me for it.
Why do you like it when I get hurt?
Because I'm usually hurting you, and it just makes me feel a little bit better. I'm the Conor McGregor of our
Emotionally
relationship.
now.
Of our relationship, you're the boss. I'm the Conor McGregor.
What a dick.
But anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, man. We love the feedback. Let us know what you want to see next. We got some really good guests coming up. I'm still waiting to organize the Russell Peters podcast, one of the best comedians in the world. He promised this week, hopefully Monday. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to have to step our game up on that because that dude's funny.
Yeah.
We have to be ready for that one.
I'll handle that.
You handle that one.
You just sit there and talk fighting.
I will. Of course I will. All right, guys. So take care, and thanks for watching.
Oh.
Are we going to do another thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, might as well.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. The great Mike Swick. He's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. I'm telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.